This is Down in Distance, Monday, October 24th, and we're in the middle of the season. The game of the week was so crazy. Number 14, Syracuse. Number 5, Clemson won 27-21. They dominated on all sides of the ball, except for turnovers. Okay, Syracuse. Clemson turned over the ball 4 times, and yet you still lost the game by 6 points. Jeez, man. Well, at least Clemson covered, I think. Let me double check that. I think Clemson did cover. The spread was... Here, just give me just a second. No, it was 13.5, sorry. Yeah, Syracuse totally covered, but still... Syracuse had multiple chances to win this game. They didn't. So this is going to be interesting to see. Now, once again, Clemson now wins. Yeah, still undefeated, but another close game. So, are they still the number 5 team? Are they playoff worthy? I still don't know. And they've really played all the best teams on their schedule in the ACC so far, so I think Clemson's out of the playoffs. I gotta say that. Anyway, number 1 recruiting class. Yep, that's right. That's what I'm calling now. Thank you, South Carolina, for making my point. South Carolina beat the number 1 recruiting class 30-24. That's their new name. I am never gonna say their name again until they start acting like it. I am not calling them by their name. Yep, that's their new name. And good luck, future recruits. Alright, BYU was ranked not too long ago. Lost to Notre Dame, fell the rankings, haven't recovered since. Liberty putting up 41 points on BYU. That's very impressive. I don't think I've seen anyone put up that many points on BYU and it not be a close game. I am shocked by this. Great effort by Leary right there. Alright, Cincinnati, SMU, 29-27, Cincy won. Now, let's see. I know that Cincinnati is, only has 1 loss this season. The record, they look good. Looks like they're back to being the Cincinnati we knew of last year, except for they have that 1 loss. But if you look at all their games, they're all 1-score ones. So, Cincinnati is really playing with their candidates, but they are winning and they are finishing their games. Another big game, or a key game, the Big 12 that was paying very close to. Baylor, 3-3. They don't want to get a losing record. They want to keep it above 500. Kansas had a great start to the season. Once Big 12 started, they fell apart. They lose to Baylor 35-23. And a huge Big 12 game! If you didn't see this game, you missed a lot. Oklahoma State bounced back after losing to TCU. Yeah, higher seed, they're home, and coming off their first loss of the season. Yeah, let's put Texas as the favorite to win the game. Stupid idea, media. I had OSU winning that game, and they were it was close, but they were very competitive. More competitive than what most people thought they were. Oklahoma State won that game, and they won it great. Texas had a lot of mistakes in that game, and some that I predicted will happen, because Oklahoma State knows how to mess with the offense. UCLA, Oregon was another big game for a little while. I really thought that even though the score says it was close, I really think it was kind of more one-sided on Oregon. I think Oregon had control of this game majority of the time. I think I'm mainly watching Texas and Oklahoma State during that game. But yeah, Oregon ended up winning that game 45-30. TCU continues, once again knocks off another APT. 4 straight ranked teams they've taken out. Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and I think they also did Baylor too when they were ranked. I'll have to double check that. But, wow. TCU, I mean, probably, I wouldn't say a playoff team worthy, but they have a shot at the Big 12 this year. Alright, Ole Miss, what's going on with you guys right now? Yeah, you just got destroyed 45-20. I know you're on the road, but LSU struggled this year. They are a good team, but they have struggled. They are home, though, so I guess they got that advantage. But come on, Ole Miss. Really? You let me down. I'm predicting Ole Miss versus Tennessee in the SEC Championship. Not happening anymore. Yep. Alright, let's check out my pick'ems. Woo! Man, this is my best week ever. I went 8-2. Give me that 41 points. I have 48-31 in the season. I'll take it. That is not bad. I mean, it's not great. It's not good. I don't like it that much, but I'll take it. 285 points. And let's go over how I did real quick. I'll talk about the UCLA and Oregon in just a minute, like I always do with the last thing I talk about. But, you know, LSU. I actually picked LSU to win the game. They won it more than I thought they would. I thought it would be closer. But, wow, got that game right. Liberty. Wow. Liberty is home. They're 6-1. They're playing a really bad 4-3 BYU team that just kind of fell apart this month, basically. I really thought that Liberty had the best chance, and they are looking great in the Sun Belt. I think Liberty can win the Sun Belt this year. Oregon won the game for me. Great. I should have had the Toledo and Buffalo game at 1. I really thought that Toledo had a chance to win that game. Didn't. Buffalo won that. Tulane won the game for me. Woohoo! TCU won the game for me. Cincinnati won. Penn State gave me the win. Oklahoma State gave me the win. My biggest loss at 10 was... Okay, so UCF put up like over 70 points last week. So it's like, they're definitely going to beat East Carolina. They probably won't put up 70 points, but they'll definitely put up points to beat East Carolina. It was the complete opposite score of what I predicted. East Carolina won 34-13. That was the close to final score I predicted in that game, except for the other way around. What is wrong with UCF in that game? Anyway, UCLA and Oregon. I predicted the final score going to be 34. I was nowhere close. So once again, what am I? Since this is week 8 now. So for 7 straight weeks, I've gotten the total combined points wrong because it was total is 75 and I guessed 34. Alright, the spread. Now I picked 46 points, I went slightly higher. But, you know, I really need to, I need to predict the final score or the final combined total points and then do the over and under on it. Now, I probably would have picked the under on this because on this game. I mean, not because obviously, if I would have picked the under when it was at 46, I would have gone with it, or 34, where I did with the pick'em. So I think I would give me some points there. But this is the spread. I don't do over and under. All right, how did I do against the spread this week? Yeah, my usual 5-5. I haven't had one winning week yet. I've either gone 5-5 or losing record. Oh my goodness, I'm 34-45 in the season. I have to go almost perfect the rest of the year to have a chance at a winning record this year. Wow, let's go over it. Baylor did their business against Kansas. They were 9.5-point favorite. They did their job. Ohio State. Okay, I really thought that Ohio State versus Iowa. I really thought that considering Iowa has one of the best defense in the Big Ten, apparently, and the worst offense. I really expect it to be a low-scoring game. Surprisingly, Ohio State's got a good defense, so I was like, okay, I knew that Ohio State's going to win that game, but I predicted Iowa to score 0 points. They scored 10 points. Give them a round of applause. Iowa scored 10 points. That's an improvement right there. You scored 10 points on Ohio State. Congratulations. Now, Iowa's offense won today. They put 10 points on Ohio State. The defense, the Iowa's best side, lost. They gave up 54 points. Yikes. Yep. And Ohio State favored by 28.5. Yep, not even close to that. Anyway, I had Clemson favored over Syracuse, 13.5 point favored. Yeah, Clemson won by 6. So once again, I wouldn't say it's close, but I mean, if Clemson were to, Clemson probably would have covered if they didn't have a couple of those turnovers that they had earlier in the game. All right, quickly going over cover because I'm going to run out of time on this. Oregon, 5.5 point favorite. They won by 15 over UCLA. Woo! All right, Wake Forest, 21.5 point favorite over Boston College. Got that one right. Maryland, they were favored by 13.5. They won 31-24 over Northwestern. So, I mean, another close one. I should have had it. And next game is the Roadrunners, UTSA. They were favored 9.5 points. They only won by 4 to North Texas, 31-27. So once again, it's always the games that get lost. It's always one more score, and that team would have covered it. Alabama, 20.5 point favorite. You all know they covered that. Oregon State, 23.5 point favorite. They totally covered that against Colorado. If you see who they played. Washington let me down. They are playing California. California's at the bottom of the Pac-12. I really thought that they were going to cover, 7.5 point favored. Yeah, they won by 7. Just one more field, and you would have stopped. It's not that Washington could have gotten just one more field goal cover. They need to stop California. For some reason, they could not stop California's offense in that game. That was terrible. Come on, Washington. I had high hopes for you this year. Apparently not anymore. Anyway, overrated and underrated time. I guess my new favorite segment. I guess it's not new anymore since I've been doing it for the last 3 weeks now or 4. Anyway, Cincinnati is my overrated team right now. Yeah, they're a ranked team. They're number 21. They won majority of their games by one score. One loss was embarrassing. And they beat SMU 29-27. Yeah, by 2 points. So, yeah, Cincinnati's not the same team they were last year. We all knew that because they lost most of their players to the draft, and some graduated. So we obviously knew coming into this Cincinnati wasn't going to be the same team they were last year, a playoff team they were last year, but we still predict them to still be competitive this year, and maybe still win their conference, but maybe, I predict them to have probably 2 losses this year. They only have 1 loss, but they're not great wins. So, Cincinnati, you need to wake up and win bigger. That earns some respect from me. Alright, my underrated team. Gonna surprise you. I was back and forth between LSU and Liberty, but my graphic can only pick one team, but you can still count LSU on here. But I'm gonna talk about both. But Liberty! Wow! I talked about it earlier. They put up 41 points on BYU's awesome defense. Congratulations, Liberty! They're gonna win the Sun Belt. They are my favorite right now to win the Sun Belt, and I think they could do that. That was quite a win. And also LSU, another underrated team this year. They dominated that game against Ole Miss. Ole Miss cannot get anything offensive going. And Lane Kiffin is one of the best play callers. I know, one of the best offensive play callers besides Lincoln Riley, in the SEC, and boy did he was stoppable in that game. Normally, Lane Kiffin is unstoppable when it comes to the opposite side of the ball. So congratulations, LSU. All right, NFL Week 7 recap. All right, we've got some headlines for you. Aaron Rodgers. Yep, I think they got a losing record now, where they, maybe they're either 3-4 or 4-3. Either way, they're terrible this year, and they just lost too. I'm going to talk about that game here in a little bit. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers says that it's still a long season. We're still early in the season. We can still make an impact this year. He's not worried at all. Well, I think all the fans are worried. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady both look terrible this year when they are both, having their best year yet last year. So I don't know what's going on with the two best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, but I think their career's over along with LeBron James. Anyway, some recaps. Titans finally getting a win, a decent win. The Panthers, just talking about Tom Brady. The Panthers on their third string quarterback that they signed from the UCFL. Yeah, he came from the USFL. Yeah, PJ, I don't remember his last name. PJ Walker. Yeah, third string. Yeah, beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers 21-3. And I gotta credit to Panthers do not have that great of a defense this year, and they stopped Tom Brady. So Tom Brady should have stuck with retiring, because this is looking like, and who knows, I think he'll likely play next year because he doesn't want this to be he doesn't want to end on this year. Anyway, Packers lost to the Commanders. Yep, Commanders beat the Packers 23-21. Not a great day for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers still has faith in the team, some way, somehow. We'll see. Anyway, what I do have faith in, the Cowboys. Yep, Cooper Rush placed it in for Dak Prescott. Sorry. And he looked amazing. And it's like, okay, if their backup quarterback this good, maybe he'll win the starting job. But a lot of money in Dak Prescott. He started this week. He started yesterday. And, wasn't his best game. But the defense did the job against a powerful offensive Lions team. Congratulations, Dallas. They may actually have a shot at the conference this year. Monday Night Football tonight. 7 o'clock or 7:15. Give me the Dunna or the whatever ESPN theme song is. I think they changed it this way. Anyway, I got the Browns. Yep, the road team winning that game. All right, so let's take a look at my rankings real quick. Who do I got? What changes do I have? Well, LSU, you see that right there, 21. They're in my rankings. North Carolina stayed where they're at. I moved NC State up a spot. And Washington, despite barely beating Cal, really? I'm only having 23 teams in my ranking. I am not counting Washington and Cincinnati. They do not deserve to be ranked. But I had to have the best 25 teams. So I had 2 open spots, and those were the next 2 I got. So, yeah. A lot of people say, the playoffs is wide open. This year is wide open. It's a crazy year. But, I only have the 23 good teams so far. So, we'll see what happens next week. Anyway, Ole Miss drops all the way down to 16. Dropped 10 spots. Penn State moving up a couple to 17. Kentucky stayed the same with their bye week. South Carolina with their big win over number 1 recruiting class. Go up to 19, 2 spots. And Oregon State, not even ranked in the AP poll yet, dominating the Pac-12 right now. They look at the most impressive team in the Pac-12 or underrated Pac-12 team right now that really should deserve to be ranked. And I'm going to take a closer look at Oregon State. later on American Game Day and look at their future schedule to see if they have a chance to probably not win the Pac-12 or have a shot at the Pac-12 championship, but might do some damage. Anyway, USC is 11, Wake Forest 12. I got UCLA 13. Yeah, they dropped down a couple spots after losing to Oregon. Illinois, I got them up at 14. Syracuse just dropped it down to 15, 4 spots. Yeah, a lot of people are probably surprised. I know that they struggled to Clemson, or they had a good game against Clemson, but they still lost, so they still got to drop down. All right, next in my ranking, my top 10. Alabama at 7. So yeah, Alabama, TCU. So my top 8 are the playoff race. So despite TCU having the good win against Kansas State, beating 4 AP teams, I still got them at 8. Alabama 2. Alabama plays a really good AP team too, but they got to finish better. Oklahoma State up at 9 now, up at 5 spots after beating Texas and Utah, up at 7. All right, my top 16. What is my playoff picture? Any changes this week? Probably not, because, well, Ohio State looked dominating this week. Once again, they had no downside, no weakness, another complete game. There's no reason they're the number 1 team. Tennessee, I got them at number 2. Still, it took one drive. They allowed, the opposing team. Obviously, when you haven't seen much of these, cupcake team, they obviously might likely score on their first drive, or one of their beginning drives, and then you destroy them. And that's expected. Tennessee had a great game. Georgia, bye week, none changed. Michigan at 4, but I think they had a bye week. I think Michigan had a bye week. Oregon had a great win over UCLA. Not enough to jump Michigan. And Clemson, even with their kind of win over Syracuse, Ole Miss did lose, so I had to move some team up to the 6th spot. But still, I really have, my playoff race is really the top 8. But really, I have Michigan and Oregon tied at 4 right now. And AP top 6 didn't change at all. No, I was honestly really expecting that Ohio State would jump Georgia this week, because they have looked like a complete team right now. But really, Tennessee, based on the amount of first place votes, Tennessee is very close to jumping Ohio State this week. So Tennessee almost took the number 2 spot. And if Tennessee continues to win, they likely do. So Ohio State needs to continue to win big like they have been. And they'll probably won't get that number 1 spot. I mean, we'll see. And the AP poll, for certain. But when the college football playoff picks come out at the first week in November, maybe they'll, as long as they win out until there, they will have the number 1 spot. I guarantee it. All right, new teams and the AP poll. LSU, I have them ranked now. We both agreed that LSU should be ranked. Finally, they agree. I mean, South Carolina is 25, but I mean, they beat the number 1 recruiting class. Give them credit to this, but they really haven't been that great this year. But gotta give them credit, they beat the number 1 recruiting class. Rank them higher, come on. I've had them ranked the last, I think, 2 weeks now. Texas is out, no surprise there. I haven't even had Texas ranked. I think I had Texas ranked last week. I don't know why. I barely had them ranked at all this year. And Mississippi State's out now. I mean, they had a great start to the season, but they kind of fallen apart now. I mean, well, they did finally score a touchdown on Alabama. It's like 2014. It's been since 2014 since Mississippi State has scored a touchdown on Alabama when Alabama is home. And then the biggest jump this week is Penn State. They went up 3 spots. I mean, not really big changes or big teams went up, but Ole Miss, of course, is the biggest fall with that loss to LSU. All right, got some headlines for you. Yep, I adjusted my graphics a little bit to make it better for my headlines. So, Jim Harbaugh, if you remember the Michigan and Penn State game last week, on their way after halftime, heading to the locker room for halftime, there's a big fight going on in the tunnel, and Penn State blames it on the stadium for having one tunnel. Jim Harbaugh, it blamed Penn State head coach for it, saying that he started it. I agree with Jim Harbaugh because obviously there hasn't been a single complaint up until last week, and they've had that same forever. So I think that's Penn State's problem there. Anyway, LSU is fined for storing the field on Ole Miss. This is adding out of control. $250,000 for storing the field. Dang! This storing the field. I mean, I love the storing the field. That is awesome, but it needs to be better. All right. And there's one particular team that does it every home game, no matter what, and that's Clemson. I don't. It messes up the field. The wrong reason why I don't like it is it messes up the field, and you can see that. But it's happening to Tennessee, and they tore down the field goal post. There's a lot of reasons why I like it, and there's a lot of reasons why I don't. And I'm going to explain it. I haven't recorded my Slater Report podcast episode yet. When I finish recording this show, I'm going to record it. But I'm going to talk a little bit about storing the field. So you might want to check out the Slater Report podcast. It's likely probably going to come out tomorrow, so I can have time to edit this show. But you might want to check out the Slater Report podcast for my discussion on storming the field. And I've done it. I think I did it last week too. But I've got some more things to say about it now. Alright. Speaking of Clemson storing the field every home game. DJ was benched in the Clemson win. Yeah, he was benched. He had 4 turnovers and didn't look his best game. Their backup quarterback looked like the best quarterback I've seen in Clemson since Trevor Lawrence left. So, Clemson's now got a great quarterback coming in next year, and I can't wait to see that. Now, the question is he going to start his next game? Probably not. Dallas Reed doesn't think so because DJ's their man, their leader, their quarterback. He ended the conversation quickly. He says he just had an off game. We'll see about that next game. But they're still, despite having barely beating their ranked teams, they're still number 1 in the ACC, followed by North Carolina, Syracuse, Wake Forest, and Georgia Tech. Now, I really think that there's only really 3 good teams in the ACC right now, and that's Clemson, North Carolina, and Syracuse. The Big 12 is more wide open than the ACC right now. Got TCU, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Texas, and that's it. I think Baylor's out of the Big 12 race this year, but I still think Texas. This may surprise you, but the Big 12 is so wide open. Texas still has a shot at probably not win the Big 12, but at the Big 12 championship game. So we'll see about that. All right, the Big 10 is more wide open than the Big 12. I mean, it is quite a race. The Michigan, Ohio State, Illinois, Penn State, even Maryland. Yes, Maryland has a shot at the Big 10 still. And I really think I really need a 6 team here because I think the 6... No, wait, I just checked it. Yeah, these are really the 5 best teams in the Big 10 right now. And they look really good. Any one of these teams can win the Big 10. You can quote me on that. Maryland has a shot at the Big 10. They probably won't win it, but they have a shot at going to the championship game. Pac-12 is... I mean, a lot of these, every conference now. I mean, everyone's been talking about the Big 12 is so wide open, so competitive, but the more that right now, I'm just realizing that looking at these standings and looking at all these teams, all these conferences are so wide open. There's a lot of good teams, but yet I only have 23 good schools in my rankings. But, yeah, Oregon's at the top. I mean, the Pac-12 is wide open. SEC is wide open as well. Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU. Ole Miss is probably out of it. I actually think LSU's out of it. I really think we just got Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. Some of you are probably saying, oh, well, Alabama and LSU have the same record. But we all know Alabama has beaten LSU. Alright, so I'm guaranteeing that. So it's going to come down to Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. Ole Miss was in that last week, but not anymore. Alright, let's check out what's going around the network here on Busy Sports. Alright, check out the Slate Report podcast every Monday or Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And this show, Down and Distance, our football show, every Monday at 6 o'clock. Our basketball show, Hardwood Hoops, on every Friday, 6 o'clock. Right now, I'm talking about the NBA, called Basketball Starting Soon. And the first Monday of every month, I put coaches on the spot on Hot Seat, 6:30. And our pick-up show, our flagship show, every Saturday at 10 a.m., all about college football. And now the NBA is starting, I'll talk about some more of the NBA. Anyway, if you haven't already, check out our website for the latest news, scores, stats. Alright, that's what's going around the network here on Busy Sports. Back to action. Here we go. Week 9 games this week. Let's talk about some weekday games, alright? So, Thursday, 6:30, ESPN. We got Virginia Tech versus number 24, NC State. Yeah, they really haven't looked the best this year, considering they lost to Clemson. NC State really hasn't been themselves like they were last year. They're home, and they'll get that win. Utah, on the road to Washington State. They're ranked now, and they still have a shot at the Pac-12. It's a late game, 9 o'clock, FS1. I still think they'll get this finish on the road. Now, it is Thursday night, so it will be difficult for them because it's not a normal day. So, it'll be interesting how Utah can handle a weekday game. And especially, well, Washington State could probably handle it because they're home. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, Friday, 2 o'clock, ESPN2. I think we're finally going to see a decent win. I think BYU is finally going to get a win, a decent win here. Alright? And Syracuse. Saturday, 11 a.m. on ABC is going to dominate Notre Dame. Yeah, that's my early pick. I don't even know why I'm featuring this as our big game. Alright, this is, even though technically not it, this is my joke of the joke game of the week. No, it's not. It'll be interesting. I'll talk about, even though I usually enough my joke game of the week on American Gaming for a short segment. I'm going to tell you here in a little bit who I think my joke game of the week will be, and it may surprise you, but yeah. I actually think that Marcus Freeman, they looking better the second half of their season now, and I don't think they will see Notre Dame get ranked by the end of the season, possibly, maybe, but they have a shot at taking down Syracuse. On the road, but I'm expecting Syracuse coming off that loss to have a good win. Alright, UCF put up 70 points last week. Not so much against East Carolina, but they are playing BYU this week, so we'll see how that game goes. Cincinnati, once again, I think this is going to be another one-score game. I think UCF is home this time, and this may be, I don't know, it's going to be a good game to watch. Fun game to watch. Definitely not one to miss it. Alright, I'm predicting it. I'm releasing this early. This is our joke game of the week. So yeah, you can flash my graphic up and go back to the normal graphic. But yeah, 6:30 SEC Network. Ole Miss, they're ranked 15 now. Number 1 recruiting class. Yeah, I got 2 Power 5 schools that are both, we're ranked. Well, I mean, Ole Miss is still ranked, but they're pretty close to dropping out. But A&M was ranked to start the season. They're not ranked anymore. Number 1 recruiting class. And sorry, I keep hitting my mic. But yeah, that is going to be a big game. number one recruiting class is home. So it'll be interesting to see how that game ends, because it's going to be a fun one to watch after Ole Miss coming off of a loss, and now they're going on the road. Anyway, a huge Big Ten game. This has got Big Ten championship all over it. I think the winner of this game, although it may come down to Ohio State and Michigan, but we'll find out. But, I mean, Penn State's got to win this game. They want to get, and probably not go to the playoff, but have a chance at winning the Big Ten. That's a must-win game for them. Kentucky, Tennessee. I was debating between this and our next game as our game of the week. I was back and forth, but I had to decide another game. But this is another big one. Kentucky's really struggling lately after having a great start. Tennessee is on a hot streak right now. Josh Heupel doing greatness, and I really think that, Tennessee is back home. They're doing well. Their third straight home game, which is weird. So I think Tennessee possibly got it locked up. All right, game of the week, the Big 12. And you're probably thinking, why is Oklahoma State and Kansas State the game of the week? Here's why. Kansas State is at home, all right? They're coming off a loss, all right? Yeah, the Big 12 is very competitive. And Oklahoma State, and they have that one loss. They're probably out of the playoff race, but this has Big 12 championship. This can mess up. If Kansas State wins this game, it makes Texas, even Baylor, a chance to win the Big 12. I mean, probably not win at the Big 12 championship game. I mean, I got this. This game is wide open if Kansas State wins this. So, an important game in the conference, and it's really going to shake it up. And most of the big games of the week I've gone against ESPN for College Kidney, it's been a lot better game. So, no. Anyway, thanks for watching Down and Distance. I'll see you next week here on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that here before. Yeah, check us out, like, subscribe on YouTube.